So when I was about 6, about 10 miles up the road, a Rosars was built. Now that was a really big deal for a small area because we finally had a grocery store. And in order to get more customers, they had a giveaway for a really, really cool go-kart / street buggy. And the wind's terrible. So it was really cool. It was mint condition, of course it was new. And Mom entered in all of the names that we have, including our grandparents, aunts, uncles, all the kids, everybody. And they probably picked up on that, so we didn't get it. But ever since then, I've wanted something like that. Now, Dad made a deal with me a long time ago that he would pitch in a little bit so we could get it, because he really liked the idea of putting it together. But we never ordered it just because it wasn't a good decision at the time. So I've been looking for a dirt bike. I've been looking for a dirt bike or a four-wheeler for a few months now, and I found something and I bought it. Introducing my new ride, Sebastian, named after Sebastian Vettel, the race car driver. So he is a Roketa 250cc. Everything works great, except it doesn't have a motor, which I'm okay with because I want to put my own motor in it. So stock, these things come with a 250cc engine from a moped, actually. A Honda moped. Those engines are pretty nice, but they're also really expensive, and it would be a lot cheaper if we just put like a four-wheeler engine in it or something. So, my plan is to put like a Honda utility four-wheeler in it, like a TRX 254 track, something like that, because it has to have reverse. I mean, this thing is not light. It's like 600 pounds. So if you have an engine, then email me. My email is in the description below. It has to have reverse. Don't email me unless it has reverse. This was local to Spokane. The guy was a big car guy, and we talked a lot. The parking brake works great. Everything works great except the motor, because it's non-existent. So it even has a key and everything. Oh yeah, I was able to put my my keychains on here. Then of course I have a shifter that isn't connected to anything. Yeah, brake pedal, gas, I mean everything works great. It just doesn't have an engine. So I found a 250 4-Trax engine in Harrington, which is like, I think it's a little bit west of Edwall, and I might go get that. He's selling it for like $150, and that's a really good price. He said it's running and working perfectly, and so I'll think about that a little bit more. Now, the subject of a drivetrain is going to be hard because of the way this thing is designed. Here, I'll show you. Now, typically, you would just have one spring coming down here and then an axle that goes out to each of the wheels. Well, since this has independent suspension, it doesn't have that. It has 2 sprockets. Now, typically, the transmission would sit right here, and there'd be a shaft that goes here to a sprocket, and then another shaft that goes to this one. But that system is super expensive, and I'm not going to spend that much because in the end, I'm going to put a bigger motor into it. So I came up with a design, and I don't see any faults in it. I'm sure there's going to be something, but I can't see anything major that would go wrong. Okay, so here's my design, and this is from a top view. So here's the engine. Now, of course, it would have a sprocket that goes out the left side to an axle that would be right about there. Now, it would be long enough so it could, of course, go to both sides, and I would have a sprocket on both ends that would go to the other sprockets. Now, my original idea was to have the engine chain go to one wheel, and then I could make an axle across. Now, it would work, but I'd be throwing chains all the time because, of course, it's independent rear suspension, so if the wheel goes up, then your chain's falling off, and that would be a bear. My dad keeps telling me that we should do it stock, and it would be easier to do it stock, but it costs so much, and I don't make a lot of money. It'd probably take me all year to save up enough. So this is what it sounds like stock. This is what I want it to sound like. Or if we do it wrong, it'll probably do this. So my plan is to put a big light bar right here, replace these lights with some sleeker and brighter ones. That's Toby. And then I want to put a PA system right here so I can just go, oh, okay, how we're doing, everybody? Stop, stop, stop. You know, that would be really cool, right? And then of course an air horn. I actually have it sitting right here. I have an air compressor in the other cabinet. And it came with everything except an engine, even the gas tank. So, oh, this is the coolest part. Look, extended bed. That's about a foot. That is going to give us so much extra space to put a motor. Now, I was thinking that we could probably hang the motor from one of these mounts, just like it would hang on a four-wheeler. So kind of just like copy the mounts that it would be on the frame that it came stock. So, if you have a motor that has reverse, please email me in the description below. I'll probably only be able to pay you at the most probably $250 if it's a good engine. But if you have something, email me. Please no spam. So that is part 1 of the Sebastian build. I'll see you on part 2. It'll probably be a while before we start this because we have a lot of other projects to do. But this is the start of my first ever engine swap. So let's see how it goes.